Good day. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okoro. An unconfirmed number of people are feared dead after 3 female suicide bombers set off their explosives in Madagali town in the northern part of Adamawa state. The incident happened on Friday morning at a crowded motor park on the outskirts of the town. Casualty figure is yet to be ascertained by authorities as volunteers and security men were seen evacuating bodies from the scene of the incident. This attack is coming barely 2 weeks after the Nigerian army repelled an attack by fleeing Boko Haram terrorists in Gulag village in the same Madagali local government area of Adamawa state. The United Nations Emergency Relief Coordinator Stephen O'Brien has described the humanitarian crisis caused by the Boko Haram sect in the Lake Chad Basin as growing in dramatic fashion. Briefing the Security Council, the UN official underlined the significant challenges and deteriorating humanitarian crisis in the Lake Chad Basin region, including those posed by the terrorist group Boko Haram. The UN official therefore urged sustained support to national and regional security, political and humanitarian action. He added that since his last briefing in July 2016, the humanitarian crisis had further deepened and, as a result, more than 10.7 million people are in need of assistance. The National Emergency Management Agency NEMA says 204 people have been killed in the southern Kaduna crisis. The clashes between Fulani herdsmen and locals in southern Kaduna have lasted for months now. The Christian Association of Nigeria had earlier said 808 people were killed as December 2016, a figure disputed by the police force, who, however, did not give a contrary figure. Now, Nigerian President Muhammad Buhari on Thursday held a meeting with the country's security chiefs over the state of security in the country. The situation in the southern part of Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria, has also forced the United Nations to open an investigation into the killings. The Nigerian government has denied cutting ties with Taiwan. In a statement by Garba Shehu, a spokesman for President Muhammad Buhari, the presidency dismissed as incorrect media reports that Nigeria had cut ties with Taiwan. He said that the correct position was that the official relationship between Nigeria and Taiwan had been at the level of trade representation, and this has not changed from what it used to be. However, the statement did not state if earlier reports that Nigeria had asked Taiwan to move its office from Abuja to Lagos was also not correct. This position was contradictory to statement made by Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, at a press conference.
Between China and Nigeria is one that has been going on and has been very strong for many, many years. And indeed, I would say beyond that, the relationship between China and Africa. The Honourable Minister has just been on a tour of Africa, of 5 countries in Africa, and this is a practice of the Chinese government that at the beginning of every year the Foreign Minister will visit a number of African countries and of course to discuss substantive issues, but above all I think to also display and show the solidarity of the People's Republic with Africa. And we're very appreciative that this year, this visit has included Nigeria's level of cooperation with China is extremely high, and the Chinese government is investing a large amount of money in Nigeria, probably going up to something around $60 to $80 billion in the area of infrastructure. Which is one of the priority areas in our diversification program of this government, from oil, agriculture, infrastructure. The Chinese government has been showing a lot of cooperation with us in this area, helping us in the area of transportation, in particular rail projects, road projects, airport projects, and we are extremely appreciative of that. And of course,
Geoffrey Onyema there speaking at a press briefing with Chinese authorities. Now, President Muhammad Buhari is in Banjul, capital of the Gambia, to mediate in the political crisis rocking the country. While in Banjul, President Buhari and some African leaders are scheduled to meet with President Yahya Jammeh and President-elect Adama Barrow. The meeting is in continuation of the dialogue on the political situation in the West African country. President Buhari will be joined by President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia and President Ernest Koroma of Sierra Leone, as well as John Mahama, the immediate past president of Ghana, who is the mediator of the Gambian mission. After his visit to Banjul, the president will travel to Bamako, Mali, to participate in the 27th African France Summit. Nigerian authorities say the House of Representatives would consider whether the country should grant asylum to Gambian President Yahya Jammeh. Although he initially accepted defeat, he has since lodged a case before the Supreme Court requesting the results to be annulled. But the court is unable to hold a hearing until May this year, as most of the judges come from neighboring countries, and Jammeh has said he's going nowhere until then. Jammeh's constitutional term in office is scheduled to end in 5 days' time after he lost to businessman Adama Barrow in the country's presidential elections held in December 2016. The Nigerian House of Representatives says it is set to pass the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper next week to prepare way for the commencement of the consideration of the 2017 budget. The chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Abdulrazak Namdas, disclosed this on Thursday at a meeting with journalists in Abuja. The House had, before proceeding on the Christmas and New Year break, adopted the 2017 and 2019 MTEF. Minister of State for Aviation Hadi Sirika has said the proposed repair of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja runway will cost 5.8 billion naira. Sirika made this known while answering questions from senators at plenary on Thursday. He said the repairs on the runway had become necessary in view of the fact that it was as critical to the economy of the country, adding that the runway was constructed over 30 years ago with no major repairs. According to him, the runway, which is proposed to be shut down from March this year, will be reopened after only 6 weeks and will serve the country for at least 10 years. Nigerian President Muhammad Buhari has resubmitted his list of 46 ambassadorial nominees to the Senate for approval. The resubmission comes nearly 2 months after the Nigerian Senate rejected his earlier list, asking for resubmission and rejigging. Now, the lawmakers' resolution to return the list to the president followed the move by then-Senate leader Ali Ndume, who said numerous petitions had trailed the nominations of the president. The president has now resubmitted that list. His decision was contained in a letter which was read out during plenary on Thursday by Senate President Bukola Saraki. Lagos State government has unveiled plans by his administration to integrate the 6 states of the Southwest region to the food security drive of the state government, especially in addressing the demand of supply deficit for the overall benefit of the people. Governor Akinwumi Ambode made this assertion when the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, came calling at the Lagos State House. Our correspondent Oluwole Ojo now reports.
Oh, Nirisha, the royal entry of the Majesty Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi to the Lagos State Governor's office in Ikeja to pay a courtesy visit to the governor. Before the commencement of deliberations, the governor, Akinwumi Ambode, had to do what the Yoruba tradition demands.
First of all, greet Kabesi in our traditional way. Kabesi.
Oba Ogunwusi, in his address, said he was at the Lagos House to identify with the developmental achievements of Governor Ambode and to seek ways of partnership, especially in the area of food security. The monarch wants Lagos State to partner with sister states in the Southwest on food security and economic growth, as it did with Kebbi State in respect of lake rice.
One thing that really got me another level that actually got me endeared to him is the initiative of lake rice. Lagos State is the largest consumer of everything in this country. We can partner in respect of food security. My governor in Osun State, we have land for agriculture. Same in Oyo State, same in Ondo State, same in Ekiti State. You will not believe that 80% of all the products from those farmlands are wasted.
Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode, in his response, said his administration had planned to integrate the 6 states in the southwest region to the full security drive of the state government, especially in addressing the demand and supply deficit for the overall benefit of the people.
The test case of what we're trying to do about food security in Lagos State is just more or less like an elixir for what it should be across the western region. And on that note, we want to also say that we have already acquired land in Ogun State and even also in Oyo State. But what is imperative for us to move forward now on is that we will integrate all other southwestern states into the food security mechanism of demand and supply for us to be able to move forward.
Governor Ambode thanked the monarch for promoting continuous communication among traditional rulers and government for the purpose of enhancing the future of the Yoruba race. He also acknowledged his immense contributions to the development of tourism, trade and commerce in Lagos State. Oluwole Ojo, TV360 News.
The Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineers has urged the Nigerian government to start encouraging the use of local contents. According to them, this will help resolve the problem of inadequate raw materials facing the growth of small industries in the country.
We want an innovation, we want creativity, we want sustainability, we want something that will be produced and will solve maybe a problem in agriculture. For instance, the stoning of rice, in agriculture. We look at mechanization, in farming. We look at renewable energy. How do we ensure that we get power from somewhere else that is not petrol, that is not generator? We begin to look at other areas that can solve a problem in Nigeria. We want a situation whereby engineering will begin to do, what they have read in schools, what they have practiced. Now we are talking about practicing engineering in reality and not just theory of the classrooms.
In the oil and gas sector, there's a policy initiated by the government, which is called the National Content on local content. And we're appealing to government to extend it beyond the sector of oil and gas to go into manufacturing and the rest of them. Doing this, we have more of the local people taking charge of some of these our sectors. And I think that is the essence of this innovation we are talking about today, being a partner with the Royal Academy of Engineering from UK. And I think our internal capability just needs to be developed, and government needs to just put a policy in place.
That was a very good business. Yeah. The furniture you brought was very perfect.
That's how we roll.
Then let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much was it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I just do business like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for someone that understand business.
Take.
Your loss.
It is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die.
No,
you will die.
That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people, make we only add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. You are watching TV360 News now. However you choose to look at it, 2016 was not a good year for the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Market capitalization dropped in the market and the all-share index dropped, and so many foreign investors took a flight from the country. Reviewing the performance of the market in 2016 as well as the outlook of 2017, Chief Executive Officer of the exchange, Oscar Onyema, says winning back the confidence of foreign direct investors will help in no small way in the quest to revive the Nigerian capital market. Our correspondent, Abiola Ismail, now reports.
Nigerian stock lost 6.2% last year, reflecting an economic crisis in Africa's biggest economy, caused by low oil prices. In dollar terms, stocks fell 40% as the local currency weakened sharply. The naira lost a third of its official value against the dollar in 2016 after the central bank scrapped its currency peg in a bid to alleviate dollar shortage. This has become a concurrent issue in the Nigerian capital market. For the third consecutive year, the benchmark all-share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange again contracted. The 2016 contraction, unlike those of 2014 and 2015, was a single-digit decline, fueling hope of a quick recovery.
Notwithstanding the foregoing, the Nigerian capital market will have to do a better job at promoting its unique value proposition to both global and domestic investors. Monetary policy will continue to play a vital role in determining activity in the market. With forecasts for inflation expected to moderate due to the base effect, we believe that all things equal, monetary authorities will have more flexibility with respect to interest rates and FX regime. Hence, good coordination between fiscal and monetary policy should result in resolution of the aforementioned structural deficiencies and drive economic growth.
Onyema also says the browse will fast-track the listing of exchange-traded derivatives this year to help investors manage risk, noting that it has created a counterpart clearing house to support the process.
The NSE will take an adaptive approach to strategy execution in 2017. In the immediate future, the NSE will focus on achieving its goal of becoming a more agile and demutualized exchange, and will fast-track efforts towards developing innovative products such as exchange-traded derivatives to provide investors with tools to better weather economic realities in 2017.
Market watchers say the uncertainty build around FX availability, monetary policies coupled with some tough fiscal policies in the year further weaken investors' confidence towards investment in equity in the year. They believe only when the right policies are put in place and an enabling environment is achieved that the much sought FDI confidence can be regained.
Whatever is going to happen in 2017, regardless of the initiatives that have been put in place by the exchange to encourage participation, we are not going to see a major upturn in market activities if we do not address our exchange rate policy, sadly.
It's difficult to gauge the timing, but like I said, as the economy improves, its confidence, general confidence improves across the economy, even within investors. If investors see that Nigeria is going to be earning more from dollars, what it means is that our FX situation will not be as bad as it was. It gives them comfort to bring in their own money, to even add to what we have.
The Nigerian stock market maintained a bearish outlook to close the year 2016 on a negative note by 6.17% as against 17.36% loss posted in the year 2015. This translates to an average monthly loss of 0.27% as against 1.34% recorded for the previous year. In the year 2016, the Nigerian stock market was largely dominated by cautions and speculative tendencies despite cheap valuation across board on the back of weak investors' confidence, which was driven mainly by strength in the economy. Abiola Ismail, TV360 Lagos.
The Development Bank of Nigeria is expected to kick off operations in 2017 with funding from Germany, France, and the World Bank, as well as a few other financing institutions. According to the Ministry of Finance, led by Kemi Adeosun, the DBN will have access to 396.5 billion naira which will be provided by the World Bank, German Development Bank and the African Development Bank, as well as the French Development Agency. The Development Bank of Nigeria is a wholesale financial institution which aims to increase access to finance for micro, small and medium enterprises through eligible financial intermediaries. The Central Bank of Nigeria says it will resume sales of dollar proceeds of international money transfer to bureau de change operators next week. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele disclosed this during a meeting with executives of the body. The CBN has told bureau de change operators it does not intend to devalue the Nigerian currency anytime soon. The Apex Bank has also said it will support the currency at current levels, especially with a recent rise in oil prices. The National Cashew Association of Nigeria wants the federal government to act against continuous encroachment of foreigners into farmlands across the country. The group, at its third annual National Cashew Logistics meeting held in Lagos State, says that if the government could safeguard agricultural commodities right from the farmlands, it will help to shore up Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings in the years coming.
The cashew season starts in February, so we start in February 2017. And we said, okay, we should meet together so we can discuss. Why would somebody come as a visitor into your country, into your home, and not sit in the sitting room? He's going to the kitchen to see what you are cooking. That's the situation right now across the commodity landscape. We're saying it's not right. This commodity business is a value chain system. The change should not be short-circuited. Also, it's important that our people have jobs to do at this time. We're talking about economic recession. When a foreign company comes and sits in the farm, cuts the chain, it's not good for us. It also has implication for security. Okay, it also has implication for statistics, because even some of our neighboring country nationals come in here and take their commodities, cashew and others, through illegal routes, and they take it to their country. So, but this you don't have happening in neighboring countries.
There is always a possibility of condensation as the containers leave the very warm climate of West Africa and travel down past the Cape and then back up again to into the equatorial areas in the Indian and the Pacific Oceans. It is therefore very important, as Mr. Chairman has already mentioned, to keep your moisture content to an absolute minimum. This assists maintain the quality and therefore obviously the desirability of your product, which of course increases your sales and very, very happily at the same time increases volume for export. Bear in mind also there are other ways to look at reducing the possibility of condensation. You can take ventilated containers, but again, there are some risks with the same thing with these, that they have small open gaps. So in very high seas, which are possible around the Cape, that can allow some moisture to come in through the air.
A senior U.S. official says the United States is set to announce the easing of some financial sanctions against Sudan. The United States first imposed sanctions on Sudan in 1997, including a trade embargo and blocking the government's assets for human rights violations and terrorism concerns. The U.S. layered on more sanctions in 2006 for what it said was complicity in the violence in Darfur. Nigerian Super Eagles have been placed in a potentially tough group for the qualification for the 2019 African Cup of Nations. The Eagles are in Group E alongside South Africa, Libya and Seychelles. Nigeria will be hoping for a better qualifying round after missing out on the previous two editions of the AFCON, which is the 2015 and the 2017. The draws, which were held in Gabon, the host of the 2017 AFCON, also brought up other potentially tough groups. Group J sees North African rivals Tunisia and Egypt paired against each other, while Niger and Swaziland make up the rest of the group. The 2017 edition of the African Cup of Nations kicks off in Gabon on Saturday, January 14, 2017, while the 29th edition will be held in Cameroon. Real Madrid set a new Spanish record of 40 matches unbeaten as Karim Benzema's 93rd minute goal snatched a 3-3 draw at Sevilla in the Copa del Rey last 16. Zinedine Zidane's side were last beaten by Wolfsburg in their Champions League quarter-final first leg in April last year. Barcelona held the previous record of 39 games set under manager Luis Enrique between 2015 and 2016. Thursday's draw means that Real Madrid progresses to Copa del Rey quarter-finals as 6-3 winners on aggregate. Former world number 1 Roger Federer says he faces a tough possibility of a tough third-side tie against either world number 2 Novak Djokovic or world number 1 in the 2017 Australian Open. The Swiss has been seeded 17th after his 5-month hiatus owing to wrist injury and could face either of the top seeds as a result. Federer has not played competitive tennis since last year's Wimbledon, while Murray surged to the top of the ranking as Djokovic's form dropped off towards the end of the year. The 2017 Australian Open kicks off on Monday, January 16, 2017 and is scheduled to end on Sunday, January 29, 2017. A Nigerian man has taken up long-distance running not to compete in the Olympic Games but for a charity cause. Ajaro David Obaro, also known as the World Rapper Man, is running from Lagos to Delta State to create awareness for Nigeria's education sector and also raise funds for his alma mater, the Government College in Delta State. Now, to complete this daunting task, Ajaro is dressed in a 20-yard wrapper, which he says helps to promote his Nigerian culture.
The World Rapper Man, Ajaro David Obaro, begins 2017 with a long-distance charity race. He plans to embark on a 550-kilometer race to create awareness in the education sector and specifically raise $45,000 for his alma mater, Government College, Ughelli, Delta State. He's expected to run for at least 10 days. His destination, Agbaoto Town, Delta State.
Today is back to school. Back to school is running to create awareness in the educational sector, specifically to raise $45,000 for Government College Ughelli School project from all the way from Lagos to Agbaoto via Ughelli.
Unlike previous race where he's seen running alone, Ajaro this time will be accompanied by other runners. Afiza Kande, a short-distance runner dressed in his 4-yard wrapper, will be running alongside Ajaro to Delta State. Afiz has never run a long-distance race. He hopes to achieve success in the face of this almost impossible task.
We're creating awareness for back-to-school program. So I'm running with a World Rapper Man from Lagos to Agbaoto via Ughelli.
Founder of Sahara Reporters, Omoyele Sowore, and a few other friends of the Rapper Man are also present to accompany him to the Lagos-Ogun border. With a fully loaded backpack and part of his wrapper in his hand, Ajaro and his co-runners run through the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. As the sun begins to take its toll on the runners and as the weather gets hotter, their pace begins to slow. Ajaro looks very tired, but with the motivation from his co-runners, he regains strength and continues the race. Finally, after 5 hours of non-stop running, Ajaro and his team arrive at the first stop for a break, which is the Lagos-Ogun State border.
We give God all the glory. It's been tough, but it's just the beginning. We're about to get some rest. I feel energized. Like I said initially, it's been a long way. We've been preparing mentally, physically, and spiritually. After 25 kilometers, we want to rest because that's one thing I think the Nigerian government and anybody that wants to succeed in life should take. Run your race, I run my race. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And we're not running to win anybody. We're not running to kill anybody. We're running for a cause. This is a charity cause. We must be alive to keep doing the cause we're running for.
This is the first of the many stops to come as Ajaro continues on his race to Delta State. There is no doubt that his journey will be a long and difficult challenge. Endurance Alonge, TV360, Lagos.
Latest information reaching us now says the rapper man is now in Ondo State. Well, that's all we have on TV360 News now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.